In my last video, I talked about goal setting, and I gave you the example of my art resolution of the last year, which I failed to meet. I wanted to learn about color theory and all that, but then kind of lost interest in that goal because it was too intimidating and it was a little too far from what I really wanted to do with my art. So I didn't meet that goal, meaning that I failed at it. And so I thought today I would really like to talk to you about failure. And while I do that, I wanted to show you the recording of what I did with the bird painting that I never even finished, which was one of the things, not the only thing, but one of the things that I did for learning about color. So I thought it appropriate as a backdrop for this video. Anyway, I want to talk to you about failure, and before I go into depth about what I'm thinking about failure, let's first look at the definition, or one of the definitions, which is the neglect or omission of expected or required action. Which, if you look at it, it's really a neutral thing. The neglect or omission of expected or required action just means that you have a goal and you didn't do what was required to get it done, or what you expected to get it done, or what you expected to have done. But yeah, we tend to view failure as something really, really bad. We tend to beat ourselves up about it, feel inadequate, feel like maybe we're on the wrong path, just not doing the right things, and that it's inherently just a bad thing to encounter failure. And a lot of people are, working towards the goal of making us feel better about that. One of which is life, art, and procrastination coach Katy, who has a wonderful YouTube channel where she documents her own journey and shares her tips about, feeling better as a human being, basically. And so she talks a lot about failure as well. And how important it is to not beat yourself up about it, and be nice to yourself and, learn from it, essentially, to be better equipped for the future. I will link her channel down below, or maybe even in the video if I can figure out how to do that. So there are people who go out of their way to teach you that it's really okay to fail. And I'm thinking, why stop there? We should really work on changing our perception of failure, because I think actually it's a really good thing. And I think that we got messed up in school thinking that failure is such a bad thing. Because when you look at a toddler learning to walk or trying to learn how to walk, they fail a lot. They fall on their butts a lot. But, they're not giving up thinking, this is just not for me. I can't do it. I'm such a loser. They don't do any of the beating up thing. They just do it, and they all succeed at some point to walk. And we kind of lose that quality as we grow up, and I'm thinking that schools are to blame for that. Because in schools, basically practice time is the thing that you do on your own time, is what you do when you're at home, when nobody's watching. But as soon as you're in the classroom, it feels that every time is performance time, and that you have to deliver, and you feel ashamed whenever you give a wrong answer, even if it's like a brand new topic and the teacher asks you a question. There are a lot of people who, if they fail to give the right answer, just feel really bad about themselves, even if they literally had no clue about what they were talking about, which, you really shouldn't feel bad if you don't know the answer, if you never learned the answer. But that's basically what school does. It's always performance time. There's such a huge focus on taking tests, on, basically appearing smart in front of your peers. We're being graded on tests, and we're being praised for right answers, and not so much for the effort that we put in. We get taught that struggling is bad and that shining is good. We pretty much pick up on the fact that appearing smart is much more helpful than actually being smart. And I just feel that we're being judged at all times. How are we supposed to learn anything new? Because learning requires struggle, and struggle means the forceful effort to do or get something, which, it requires obstacles. And then that basically means that you're going to fail at some point. Because if you just jump over obstacle after obstacle without ever failing, the obstacles are not big enough. And then the learning process is just going to be really, really slow. So failure just means that you're taking on tasks that are really adequate for your learning pace. I mean, if your failure is so big that it makes you stop instead of keep going, then yeah, maybe something's wrong with the system. But usually if it's a failure that makes you get up and try again, maybe in a different way, that's the good failure. So I'm kind of thinking, and I feel like I could write an entire book about this topic, honestly, which, maybe I will. Comment down below if you think that would be a good idea. Yeah, what I just really wanted to say at the end of this video is that I think failure just needs a better reputation, because what makes you stop pursuing a certain goal or thinking that you're not good enough is not the failure itself, but it's the stigma. It's what we make of it. That's actually the bad thing here. So the failure is the good thing, but what we're thinking about it is what makes it a bad thing. We really need struggle. We really need failure. We need obstacles that are big enough for us to fail at, so that we can learn and basically get closer to what we're set out to do. And failure is just a part of all of this beautiful journey. And then it doesn't make any sense to shut it out as something completely bad when really it is not. It's part of the process, and I'm not thinking that it should be something that we need to give us a pep talk about. It's just something that we should just make an effort to make it into something neutral or even good. If we could make it into something good instead of something bad, I think it would solve a lot of the problems as far as learning goes. And yeah, that's just what I wanted to leave you with today. I hope you found this helpful, that maybe it was, food for thought. And I really hope that you can learn to embrace failure yourself.